Malware attacks continue to evolve, posing risks to organizational security, including data breach, financial loss, and operational disruption. This presentation delves into effective strategy for responding to and mitigating malware incidents. We will explore common malware types, analyze a real-world case study to uncover vulnerabilities, and outline a structured response plan encompassing prevention, detection, containment, eradication, recovery, and communication. By implementing this strategy, organizations can enhance their resilience against malware threat and safeguard critical assets. Malware is one of the most dangerous types of cyber attack today. It's a kind of malware that blocks access to your files or enter computer system by encrypting them. The attacker then demand a ransom, usually in cryptocurrency, to unlock your files. It often spreads through phishing email, fake website, or by exploiting weak security in your system. Once it infects a device, it can spread to their entire network in a second. A well-known example is the WannaCry ransomware attack in 2017, which affected hundreds of thousands of computers in over 150 countries, including hospital, company, and even government office. Ransomware is especially dangerous because paying the ransom does not guarantee you will get your data back. In many cases, the files are lost forever. To protect ourselves, we should always backup our data, update our system regularly, avoid clicking suspicious links, and use antivirus software.
What is a phishing Trojan? Phishing Trojan are a type of malware that use deceptive attack tactic like fake emails or website to trick users into downloading malicious software. Once a user clicks the link or attachment, the Trojan horse activates, stealing information, installing other malware, or allowing remote control access to the system. Look at the basic flow on how it works. First, the attacker sends a fake email or link. The victim clicks it and downloads a malicious file. The file installs the Trojan like they served in this example. The Trojan gives control or steal data from the victim's system. So why it is dangerous? It is dangerous because they look like legitimate program or website. They trick people into installing them, and once installed, they can do some serious damage without the user knowing. So the impact is that the consequences of the phishing Trojan attack include such as data theft for password, credit card numbers, and personal info, malware installation, which can install ransomware or spyware, remote access, where attacker can control the device like a zombie computer. In summary, phishing Trojan are a major cyber threat. We should always think before clicking links or opening attachment, keep our system updated, and use antivirus, and be cautious online.
Okay, so let's talk about spyware. Spyware is a type of harmful software that secretly enters a user's device and collects personal information without permission. It often sends this data to third parties like advertisers or even cybercriminals. So the attackers use spyware to track internet activity, steal login credentials, and access sensitive data like credit card or bank information. So in some cases, they can even impersonate the user because it runs quietly in the background. So spyware is hard to detect, it's one of the most common tools used in cyber attacks today. It can slow down systems, expose companies to data breaches, and disrupt both personal and business operations.
Let me begin by introducing a type of malware called a worm. A worm is a self-replicating program that spreads on its own truth network without needing to be attached to another file or require human interaction to activate. It exploits vulnerabilities in network services, which means it looks for weakness like outdated software or misconfigured system to break into new hosts. Once inside, it often consumes bandwidth and memory and can even crash server or entire network if left unchecked. Now, let's talk about its life cycle. Worms typically go through several stages. So, first, design or initialization, where the attacker writes the code. Then it starts scanning for vulnerable device using methods like random or subnet scanning. Once it finds a target, it exploits the system using operating system or application flow. Then it moves into the replication phase, copying itself onto the new machine. After that, it executes its payload, which could be encrypting file, installing a backdoor, or stealing data. Finally, it may use concealment technique like obfuscation to hide its presence. In terms of defense, we rely on systems like network level intrusion detection system or IDS, which can flag unusual scanning activity. We also use signature-based detection for non-worm and anomaly-based system for unknown threats. On top of that, patching, firewall, antivirus, software, and user training are essential to stop worm before they start spreading. So overall, worms are dangerous because they act quickly, spread widely, and can do so silently. This set them apart from virus, which need user interaction. Understand this behavior help us prepare better defense.
Good morning, everyone. I will begin by explaining one of the oldest and most well-known types of malware, which is computer viruses. A computer virus is a malicious program that attaches itself to a host file or application. Unlike worms, a virus cannot spread on its own. It requires human interactions to propagate, such as opening and infected email attachments or running a compromised programs. Once executed, it replicates by inserting copies of itself into other files or programs. Over time, this can result in significant performance degradation or complete system crashes. Viruses typically spread through vectors like email attachments, infected USB drivers, network shares, or malicious websites. What makes them particularly dangerous is that they can stay dormant and undetected for long periods. In an organization, the impact of a virus can range from data corruption, system downtime, to network congestions and security breaches. In worst-case scenarios, they can serve as a gateway for more advanced attacks like ransomware. Therefore, understanding how viruses behave and spread is essential for implementing effective preventive and defensive strategies.
So for the UCSF, our case study, the ransomware attack on the University of California, San Francisco, UCSF in June 2020 had significant impacts on the institution. The primary target was the UCSF School of Medicine, where critical academic and research data possibly related to COVID-19 was encrypted by networker ransomware. As a result, UCSF experienced major operational disruptions with systems taken offline to contain the breach, affecting both internal access and continuity of important research work. To recover the encrypted data, UCSF negotiates with the attackers and paid a ransom of 1.14 million, a decision that drew public attention and scrutiny. Beyond the financial costs, the university faced reputational damage, concerns over data privacy, and potential legal risks related to compliance with regulations such as PDA. Although UCSF stated that no patient's medical records were believed to compromise, the breach raised serious concerns about the cybersecurity resilience of research institutions. So the vulnerabilities part, which is the vulnerabilities that allowed networker ransomware to penetrate UCSF's defenses, were likely a combination of several common attack vectors. So the ransomware is often distributed through phishing emails containing malicious attachment or links, and it's likely that a staff member unknowingly triggered the infection by opening such an email. Another likely point of entry was through exposed or poorly secured remote desktop protocol, which is RDP services, which networker operators are known to exploit. Additionally, UCSF may have had insufficient endpoint protection, which is lack of network segmentation or delays in applying security patches, as a factor that would have allowed the malware to move laterally across system and encrypt a large volume of data. These vulnerabilities emphasize the importance of implementing strict access controls, advanced threat detection, timely system update, and comprehensive employee cybersecurity training to prevent similar incidents in the future.
Okay, now let's look for real-world case, which is University California San Francisco, which is ransomware attack in 2020. The attacker did not hit the hospital directly, but instead target the School of Medicine IT system, specifically the server that held research and academic data. That's important because it limits the damage but still had serious consequence. First, let's discuss the operational disruption. This server were encrypted by ransomware, meaning the data was locked and inaccessible. Thankfully, UCSF IT team act fast to quarantine the effect system, stopping the spread to other part of the network. They also confirmed that patient service and COVID-19 research were not impacted. Second, we have academic data at risk. The encrypted file include videos, manuscript, and research dataset. The attacker even stole some of the data first, which they used as proof to pressure UCSF into paying the ransom. Third, we look at the financial toll. UCSF had to negotiate with the attacker, eventually paying 1.14 million US dollar in Bitcoin to get the data decrypted. This shows just how costly this attack can be. And lastly, reputation and compliance. UCSF was transparent about the incident. They worked with law enforcement and emphasized their commitment to recovering public serving data. Most importantly, they confirmed that no patient medical record were leaked. This case teaches us that even a well-resourced university can become a target, and that swift containment and clear communication are critical in cyber crisis.
Let's now look at the prevention strategy that could have helped the University of South Florida prevent or minimize the ransomware attack. First, employee awareness training is one of the most important defense. Many ransomware attacks begin with phishing email. If staff are trained to recognize suspicious link and attachment, the risk of infection drops significantly. Second, regularly data backup, especially offline and encrypted ones, allow organization to recover without paying a ransom. If USF had frequent backup, they could have restored system faster with less data. Third, enforcing strong password and multi-factor authentication makes it harder for attacker to steal credential and access internet system. Fourth, endpoint protection tool and network firewall help detect and block malware before it's separate. Antivirus solution must be regularly updated to catch new ransomware variants. Next, patching system and software is critical, unpatched, vulnerable, and common entry point. Organizations like USF must apply security update promptly.
So there is for part B, which is detection, methods for detecting malware incidents. So there is some ways to detect the malware, which is the first one is signature-based detection. The signature-based detection relies on identifying known ransomware by matching its code or behavior to a database of previously recorded threats. Traditional antivirus software uses this method to scan files and process for specific patterns or signatures of known malware. It is effective for quickly identifying well-known ransomware strains, but is limited in detecting new or modified, which is zero-day variants that do not yet have signatures. So for the number 2 is behavior-based detection. Behavior-based detection monitors the action of progress in real time and flags suspicious activities that resemble ransomware behavior. For instance, if a process starts encrypting files rapidly or modifies large numbers of files within a short time, it may be considered malicious. These approaches is more adaptive than signature-based methods, making it suitable for detecting new ransomware variants that behave like known threats. The third one is anomaly-based detection. Anomaly-based detection establishes a baseline of normal system and user behavior, then alerts security teams when activities deviate from that norm. If a user who typically accesses a few files suddenly initiates encryption of thousands, or if network activity spikes without explanation, the system raises an alert. This method is effective in identifying unknown threats but can sometimes produce false positives if the baseline isn't well defined. Number 4 is honeypots and file canaries. This method involves placing decoy files or folders, which is known as honeypots or canaries within a system. These files serve no real purpose or should not be accessed during normal operation. So if they are modified or encrypted or deleted, it's a strong indication that ransomware is active. So this provides an early warning signal and allows for immediate response before real data is affected. The number 5 is machine learning and AI detection. Machine learning and artificial intelligence models are trained to detect the complex patterns of ransomware attacks even if the malware is previously unknown. This system analyzes large amounts of data, learning that normal and abnormal behavior look like. So over time, they become better at spotting subtle indicators of ransomware, offering a powerful defense against zero-day and evolving threats. And the last one is network traffic analysis. So these methods involve monitoring outbound and internal network traffic for signs of malicious activities. So ransomware often communicates with command and control, which is C2, command and control servers, or attempts to exfiltrate data. Unusual patterns such as encrypted outbound connection or spikes in traffic to unknown IP addresses can signal the presence of ransomware. So tools like IDS or IPS or firewalls with deep packet inspection are commonly used for this purpose.
So now I will explain about malware response. Containment is about isolating infect system quickly so the malware can't spread further. According to CISA, which is a joint cybersecurity agency involving the FBI, NSA, and others, organizations should immediately disconnect infected system from the network. That includes cutting off both wire and wireless access, shutting down the infect machine if needed, and even quarantining entire network segment. In the UCSF case, this is exactly what they did. Their IT team quarantined several servers in the School of Medicine, keeping the infection from reaching the core of UCSF hospital system. This was a critical decision. It protect patient care and COVID-19 research. Let's break down the containment steps. First is detection. Identify which machine are infected. UCSF detect the threat yearly on June 3. Next is isolation, disconnect. Affected machine, UCSF did this by segmenting their network. Then come quarantine further block. Communication on those segments to ensure the infection doesn't hop elsewhere. After that, it's analysis and monitoring. They use external cybersecurity expert to figure out the scale of the attack. And finally, recovery preparation. UCSF choose to pay the ransom and regain access and then restore clean backups. So the UCSF case show a textbook example of how proper containment can prevent a bad situation from becoming worse. It's a reminder that preparation and fast response are essential when dealing with malware.
Now let's move on to the eradication phase, which is a critical step in the malware response process. Once a virus has been detected and contained, the next goal is to completely remove all traces of the malware from the system to prevent reinfection or further damage. The first step is to identify the malware's full footprint. This includes not just the main file, but also hidden components like registry edits, scheduled tasks, or scripts that maintain persistence. Specialized malware removal tools are then used to clean the system. In some cases, especially in large organizations, offline scanning or even re-imaging the system may be necessary if the infection is severe. Next, it's important to reset any potentially compromised credentials, especially administrator-level accounts, and conduct an access control review. This is to block attackers from re-entering using stolen passwords. Additionally, any vulnerabilities that were exploited, such as unpatched software or weak security settings, must be addressed immediately. After the system is clean and secure, deep scans and threat hunting are performed to ensure no remnants remain. This includes checking for sleeper malware and reviewing logs for unusual activity. Finally, a verification steps confirms that all infected systems are malware-free and ready to be restored to normal operations. Eradication is more than just deleting files. It's a careful forensic process that ensures long-term protections and prepare the organizations for full recovery.
So hi everyone, I will now explain the recovery step that should be taken after a malware attack to restore affected system back to normal operation. So step 1, we isolate the infected device. The first and most urgent step is to disconnect the infected system from the network. This will stop the malware from spreading to other devices. Step 2 is remove the malware or rebuilding. Use antivirus tool to clean the system. If the infection is serious, you may need to install or reinstall or re-image the system completely. Step 3 is restore from clear backups. Recover the system using backup made before the attack. This helps to bring back safe data and system setting. Step 4 is apply security patches, update your software, operating system and firmware. This will fix any vulnerability that the malware may have. Step 5 is change password and enable MFA. Reset all user password, especially for all compromised account. Also enable multi-factor authentication to strengthen the account security. And the step 6 is monitor closely after recovery. Monitor logs, network activity, and security alert. This ensures that the threat is truly gone and won't come back. And in conclusion, in short, recovery after an attack must be systematic and quick. By following this step, it will contain the damage and prevent future attack. Now, let's talk about the communication guideline during a malware incident. A good communication helps reduce confusion and keep everyone informed and safe. So, internal communication within the organization. First, we must inform the response team. Let the IT security and management team know immediately. Use safe communication tools like if email or chat is down or compromised. Use secure or offline method. Give clear and simple updates. Let staff know what's happening, what they should do, and remind them not to panic. Share safety tips, reminding everyone not to click unknown links or open suspicious email. External communication outside the organization, we must assign a spokesperson. Only authorized people should speak to the media, public or customer, inform affected parties such as notify customer, partners or government bodies if required, speak with fact only, share only verified and simple information, not blaming or make any assumption, give regular updates by keep external parties informed as the situation improves. In short, during a malware incident, be fast and be clear, and always use safe and trusted channel. This helps protect your organization reputation and keep everyone safe.
So, in conclusion, modern computer security threats, particularly malware, continue to evolve and pose serious risks to organizations. This presentation has highlighted key types of malware, including ransomware, Trojan, spyware, worm, and virus, each with unique attack behavior and impact. By examining the real-world UCSF case, we learn how ransomware can exploit common vulnerabilities such as weak RDP access, phishing and poor connection, poor network segmentation, leading to operational disruption and financial loss. To effectively combat such threats, organizations must adopt a layered defense strategy that includes yearly detection method like behavior-based monitoring, anomaly detection, and machine learning, as well as proactive measures such as system update, access control, employee training, and secure backups. With strong understanding of malware type and structure response plan, organizations can better protect their digital asset and maintain operational resilience.